lineups.
Right.
And this is something that I cannot stand lineups. I think it's, as I get older, I get, less and less more patient. But what we're really what kind of prompted me was Alaska Airlines is testing out in their lounges, so people who are paid a little bit more to sit at the front of their aircraft, fingerprint technology. So anytime you would normally pull out your passport, you can instead use a fingerprint, and it has really taken off. They started it last fall, and now they seem to be rolling it out a bit more. So instead of every time you needing anything that involves ID, you just put your fingerprint. I'm a big fan. If this takes place, they're looking to roll it out from the curb experience right through till the time you board the plane.
For Alaska. I mean, you'd still need it when you're going through security and all that, right?
Right. You would need it, but let's talk about some other ways that you can avoid lineups. Okay, obviously Nexus, huge one. And I know it's a bit of a pain for people because they don't like to go through the interview process. But for $50 for 5 years, you're talking about $10 a year.
It's amazing savings.
It is amazing, and you can use it all over the world because Nexus has a tie-in with Global Entry. So if you're going anywhere, there's a lineup in the TSA or you have a priority lineup and you're walking around.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that either.
Oh, yeah, you need to take a peek anywhere that you go. I've used it in London, I've used it in Las Vegas, I've used it in New York.
I need Nexus.
I
can't believe I still haven't done it.
I can't either. Self-serve kiosk, you were talking about the fact that you have just done one.
Yeah, it hurts. So the car rental place, so instead of talking to a face-to-face to a human, you're talking into a kiosk with someone on Skype.
Yes.
On a handset.
So this is new technology as well, and it works. But in places like where you were, San Francisco, LA, any of the big airports, car rental lineups are notoriously horrific.
It was terrible.
So my single biggest piece of advice on this is join their loyalty program, because there is always a designated lineup and they're free. And you get savings or points right away. So the most important part of that is lineups. Avoiding them.
But now, if I sign up, I won't get the points for what I just paid.
No, you won't. So you have to be a preferred member.
Do you join as many loyalty programs as possible?
Absolutely. And I actually have a little file in my emails that just reminds me of them because I can't always remember.
Right.
But you can just put them somewhere. Keep the numbers, use one password for them all. I know that all the IT people out there are, what?
Right, but if you use it for that loyalty, you just know, for all the loyalty programs, that's your one password.
Yeah, that's
not
exactly
for your
right.
banking.
And like I say, they're free. And upgrade your plane ticket. Now, I know not everyone is going to be able to upgrade to a business class fare, but even to a economy plus or something, you will get faster. You'll get on board. You'll get off faster because you are closer to the front of the aircraft, and you'll usually get a little bit more space. And it's not quite as much money as, say, a business class or a first class ticket, but it's worth it. And amusement parks, the front of line. So one of the parks where you could do this is Disneyland, but Knott's Berry Farm I looked at when I was there last year with my kids, and I chose not to do it. Biggest mistake, because for an additional $20, we probably would have been on every ride at least 3 times. My husband is less patient than I am. We went on 2 because we went on we saw the lineup. Who knew that we went upstairs? There was the same amount of lineup. It took us 3 hours to see one ride.
So sorry, I don't. So the VIP gets you to go into a separate line where you get to go quicker?
Line,
for $20?
It was about an additional $20, maybe $30, which at the time I'm thinking, okay, for 4 of us, this is ridiculous. I'm not paying that kind of money. But if you want to see a park and you want to get on as many rides as possible, it is worth it if you only have 1 day to go in.
Okay, cool. All right, real quick deals.
We have some time for deals. Okay, good. Orlando, we'll talk about lineups.